guys, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to be going through the process of making a new little critter. He's called Tenebris, the Shadow Ice Lion, so definitely stay tuned. Alright, so I'm starting off with a blank resin cast of a sculpture that I have done, and I've also cast some glass eyes inside the resin piece. Before you ask, I might do a tutorial, but it will probably either be paid or I'm thinking of opening a Patreon soon, so it'll be as a reward. But I'll definitely keep you updated whatever I do, so just keep an eye on any of my social media links, which you can find in my description. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going around and just filling in all of the pieces with some black acrylic paint, and the brand is Chromacryl, where I want the sections to be black, and I usually put down a primer paint before I put any paint onto the resin, just because resin is a little bit slippery, so you want a primer that has a good tooth on it. That way the paint will stick to the resin. So as usual, I'll just go through a little backstory that I created for Tenebris. Shadow Ice Lions are strange creatures. Many people tend to think they're more of a spiritual being than a physical being, as they seemingly float when they run and are silent when they move. They are solitary creatures, only coming together to breed, which can be a violent affair. Their coat is mostly black, with areas of grey and white. Each lion's marking is unique to them, much like their own fingerprints. They have piercing blue eyes and an ice blue mane. Both males and females have manes, however the female's mane is much shorter and not so vibrant blue. Shadow Ice Lions are found in a small region called Shadowed Wilds in the Black Tribal Lands of Krai, India. The locals tend to leave them alone as they have superstitions about these creatures. Moving on to the faux fur, and this is a Mongolian faux fur, and I have done a video previously about this particular fur, how to dye it, because I wanted it to be a nice blue colour, but you can check it out on my channel if I don't remember to link it in the description box, but I dyed it a nice sort of icy blue colour, so you can check that out and see how I did it here, so you don't have to, I'm not going to add it to this video because there is a video on it. But anyway, this is the fur that I'm going to be using for the body, and you might recognise this fur as the same fur I used for my Artdoll that I did for the Calgary Zoo a little while back. Same fur, so I decided to go for this one again, and I'm just cutting out all of the pieces, and as you can see it doesn't have a neck piece because I'll be attaching that Mongolian faux fur for the mane, so you don't need to cut it out. So I wanted the body to be mostly black, and then I wanted a little bit of shading from the face to go back. As you can see, it goes from black, grey to white. So I wanted a bit of that white, grey, black to transcend through the body, and just have a couple of blue things here and there. So I wanted it to be mostly black. And as you can see, all the little white dots mean there are longer bits of fur inside of the main fur, so it's just long stringy white bits, and you can see where they are. So once I've cut all this out, I'm then going to go and pin fur side together, because I'm going to go and sew it on a sewing machine. You can hand sew it, but I just prefer to sew on a sewing machine. It's quicker and it's more durable as well, but there are some parts that you'll need to hand sew, so you can't really avoid hand sewing if you don't like it. And this is also the fur that I dyed, so definitely check in the description box. I'll try and remember to link it. So going ahead and sewing all of the pieces together. So you want to remove the pins, because I've sewn with pins before and I hit one and it was a disaster. But definitely remove them, don't just go over them, because I know some people might not know that, you know, the younger artists might not know that, so definitely take them out before you sew them because it can damage your sewing machine. And I prefer to sew slowly as well. I don't like to sew my faux fur too quickly because it is quite thick, and my sewing machine isn't really, it's just a standard sewing machine, so it's nothing too whiz bang. So just be careful, I do it slowly so it doesn't overload the sewing machine and it won't break a needle or anything. So here's what we've got once I've sewn all the pieces up. As you can see, I have left the back end open because you want to flip it the right way around. So you'll need a large open end to do this, and I generally leave the legs open as well, just so I can flip that fur inside out. You can sew it if the hole is big enough, but to avoid any headaches, you want to just leave it open so it's easy to flip inside out. So once it's been done, I've used a plastic ball and socket armature for this particular doll because it is a larger doll. So once I've put all that together, I'll put it inside the body and then fill the body with polyfill. Once that polyfill's been put in, I'll then go ahead and sew up all the loose ends using a ladder stitch. So just have a Google on YouTube or something for a ladder stitch and you'll find something tutorial or something to show you. So once that's sewn up, I'm going to go around and stick all the fur pieces to the resin using a tacky fabric glue. And this glue, if you're in Australia, you can get it from Spotlight stores, but I usually get it from Ride, but they seem to have stopped stocking what I usually use, but the one at Spotlight is absolutely fine and works just as well. So here's the face once I've furred it. Again, I don't really plan on doing a tutorial on furring right now. I might in the future, I don't know. But yeah, this little guy has been spoken for already. He was snapped up previously before I got to list him. So, but you can check out my Etsy store for more dolls. And that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. You can also check me out on Instagram and Facebook at Creatures of Nat, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!